Hi, I'm Debbie,
I'm Jan.
and today we're going to talk to you a little bit about purchasing homes in the villages, why we bought where we did, and one of our YouTube friends had asked us to put together some information for her because she is thinking about moving down here in the next couple years. So we thought this might be helpful.
And it is overwhelming because there are a lot of choices and a lot of villages, and it makes a big difference where you move to and the kind of house that you have.
Yes, so here are some thoughts from us having purchased down here, and hopefully you guys find those helpful. So those are some of the villas that are available here in the villages. Now, just so you know, neither of us are realtors. We have no reason to sell you, encourage you on anything, but just wanting you to understand the different types of homes available here. So the two types of villas are patio villas and courtyard villas. And the biggest difference between them is whether or not they have a fence. So the patio villas have that cute little white picket fence in the front, and they are adorable, but there's no fence in between the two homes. And so, the courtyard villas are nice because they've got a complete wall. So, for example, if you have a dog and you want to just be able to open the door and let your dog run, a courtyard villa is a perfect home for you.
And for a pool, it's very private.
And for a private
It's
pool.
more private, and we used to have one for a rental, and we loved it. We remodeled it, and it's a nice little area for entertaining, or like you said, for pets.
Yeah,
No horses though.
No horses.
Too big.
Yeah, no pigs either. But it does give it's the enclosed area, so that's kind of nice because I know I've got friends that are used to having their fences up in like Illinois where I'm from, and they were asking me, well, which houses can we put fences in? And the answer would be,
Don't fence me in.
yeah, none of them. None of them. So, but the courtyard villas, so that gives you that option if that's important to you. Okay, so those were some ranch homes and designer homes. Now, the biggest difference between those are the roof pitch. So how they look on the exterior. The designer homes have a higher roof line, and on the inside then they have more of the vaulted ceiling look, and the ranch homes are a little bit flatter. Other than that, a lot of the floor plans are almost identical.
Now, are ranches 2-bedroom or 3, or does it matter?
They can be both.
Okay.
Yep.
And the same with designer.
Yep,
2
they
or
can be
3.
both. And so basically, it's all about the look and the roof lines. That's the biggest difference. Typically, the designer homes are just a little bit more expensive than a ranch home, so it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to save a little bit of money and you don't really care about the vaulted ceilings or the higher roof line, the ranch home might be a perfect choice for you.
And a lot of people like that 3rd bedroom, not for bedroom per se, but for that extra office or that room you can get away from your spouse on a rainy day because you are kind of cooped up, or a little man cave or a she cave.
And especially when you're retired, you get to spend a ton of time together.
Yes.
It's great. So those were some premier homes, and typically then the premier homes are the largest series of homes here in the villages.
A little larger lot, and what we've seen are they're always block and stucco.
Yeah, most of them have been. I don't think I've seen any
And a
stick
lot
homes.
of them are on a cul-de-sac.
Or golf courses. When you see the big homes along the golf courses, those would all be considered premier homes.
Right, with great big bird cages.
Yes, and they do tend to be a little bit larger. So if you wanted 4 bedrooms and that, a lot of times you are looking at a premier home to accomplish that.
And if you
so.
love to entertain, that would be the way to go.
Yep. There'll be more money too, though. So keep that in mind too.
Money's no object.
Yep. No, you're retired. Spend it. Can't go with you.
Can't take it with you.
No, can't. So we also wanted to talk to you about, so we're going to, when we're discussing this, we're going to talk about the south and the north. And so the south we're going to refer to as anything, the newer section below Route 44, and the northern section, the older section, which isn't all old, but that is the older, more established, mostly
Areas.
complete section,
Right.
is north of 44. So when you guys moved here, you moved here how long ago?
16 years ago, we bought a modular home, manufactured home, if you will, on Orange Blossom on the historic, what they call historic side, which is extremely beautiful, big, huge trees. It's very quiet over there. And we loved it. We were on number 10 towards the green, number 11, my bad. And we loved that house. And we rented it out. And came to work on, the more we came down to work on it, the more we enjoyed the villages and what the villages had to offer and the weather. And then we had a realtor that kept bothering us, not bothering, but she was working with a friend of ours and she kept saying, you need to come look at this house over here. And I looked on it online. I'm like, nah, not really. We have a beautiful big backyard and big tree and an owl in the tree. And so we finally said yes, and then we went to look at it, and it's in the Rio Grande right by Hacienda. It's on Hacienda, actually. And we looked out the backyard, and we went, okay, I think we're for this. And this was 09, and it's a designer home with 3 bedrooms. And we have remodeled it 3 different times, and knocked some walls down. And we love it. When we love that area, we're close to everything, and it's all about location. And rumor has it that, speaking of rumors, that the average villager moves 3 times. And so I moved twice, so there's just me, and there's a lot of people that decide they want to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that for us, we moved here. Well, I bought the house in 2000 because my dad lived here, and he told me, "Oh, it's going to be a great investment for you," which it was. He was right.
Yeah.
Listen to your parents. But outside of that, bought the house, rented it out. So that was great. Rented it out for about 15 years, and then when my husband was getting ready to retire, we decided we would let the renters out, and we came down and we gutted our whole house. I was funny about living in a house that had been previously lived in. So, but since we had this home, we decided, well, let's just gut it, fix it up, and see if we like the Villages. And we did. And so 7 years later, we're still here in the same house. So we love our house. Now, our house is only a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And we did that because the rental potential was not enough more to make it worthwhile paying the extra money for a 3-bedroom. Had I known that I was going to ever live here, I would have done things differently. I would have definitely done a 3-bedroom home. That being said, I know Jan mentioned that, some people like an office and all that stuff. Actually, for us, the 2 bedrooms is plenty. I would really use that 3rd bedroom more for storage. So a lot of times, and this goes to why do people buy 3 homes in the Villages? A lot of times I think people come here, they fall in love, they buy the house, and then they start doing their activities, and then all of a sudden they realize, shoot, everything I do is, so again, the southern section of the Villages, the newer area, is lovely, but they don't have all their amenities yet. So a lot of what they're doing is up north. And like, again, I know I've mentioned I play tennis. All of the clay courts are up north. So I've had tennis players say to me, shoot, we bought all the way down south. It takes me 35 minutes to drive up north just to play tennis. And they're doing that 3-4 times a week. And the Villages was kind of set on, the whole idea was tiny little villages, and you kind of do things all in your area, and you get to drive your golf cart everywhere, which is an amazingly fun part of being in the Villages. You can literally drive everywhere in your golf cart.
You go to the hospital in your golf cart.
Yep. And so I think that a lot of times what happened with people is that they purchase something either in an area that they aren't doing their activities in, or they purchased too big a home thinking, why my big home up north, I don't want to part with all my stuff. So they bought this big house down here, and then they find out they're not using it. And when you're down here, your idea is to be retired and do your activities. Nobody really wants to clean house.
No, I don't.
So if you have a bigger house, it's more to clean. So I think that's kind of what happens. And then they downsize a little bit, and then,
And I also think that people bring all their furniture from their big house up north, and you bring it into this sunny Florida home, and you look around and you go, this doesn't work. And so then you're out buying new furniture. I mean, we've drug furniture here and then drug it back and gave it to our kids. So it's a whole different look, and it's not the big heavy furniture that you had
except
up
for
north.
ours.
Well, I also have these kind of furnitures, but I'm talking about big furniture. Anyway.
But don't you think, so as far as the north and the south, like as far as new people thinking about moving down here, so some of the Villages, rumors again, are all the young people are down south. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 55. I live up north.
I'm not.
She's still not. She's very young yet, though. So by village standards.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I think that there's this thing that all the old people, like, they still live in their houses and stuff. People did move here. They do pass away, and the homes go up for sale, and young people do come in and buy them.
Right. Like our neighborhood, when we first moved in, the second neighborhood in '09, I was your age, and I thought everybody on the street was 85 or 90, which probably wasn't true, but to me they looked like it. And now it's turned over. A lot of them move back to where their kids are, or their spouse passes away, so then they move back closer to the kids. And now our neighborhood is very young, and it's very active. And I mean, a lot of people didn't even know we'd lived there all that time, because we also had a lake house, so we were gone quite a bit, and my husband still worked. But anyway, that happens also. I mean, they turn over.
And so being down south, some of the advantages would be that's the only place you're going to get new construction. So if you like new construction, you want to live down south. If you
And it's close to the turnpike.
it's close to the turnpike. It's also close to the airport. They're about, like, from my house to that is about 35 minutes by drive. So they're probably 35, 45 minutes from the airport. So they're close to the airport. So if you do a lot of in and out, that is a good location. They have the lake there. Lake Okahumpka is down there. So they have the lake. So those would be some advantages. Everybody here likes to be the first at everything. I was the first one on the golf course. I was the first one to cross a bridge. I was the first. So if you like to be the first, that's a place you can be the first down there. So that part's good. The negatives, I would say, down south are you're going to have to be patient for your amenities because they're still working on stuff. It's all brand new and they got to build it all. And so
They did houses first, and then they used to build the golf courses first.
Yeah.
And then put the houses around it. And now this time, but they are opening quite a few courses.
Yeah.
I think this next year they're going to be.
I think there were two
adding 3 or
more championship courses that went, and the one is there that's on that side of 44. And so kind of, again, depends on your activities. That, again, a lot of times too, people feel like when moving to a new area down south, everybody else is new too.
Yes.
For the most part. So they feel like it's easy to meet friends and all of that sort of thing. We talked about in one of our videos about the clubs and stuff. So I'm not sure that that's really as big as a deal, but maybe coming from another state, you kind of feel like it gives you a sense that if you don't have any other activities that you're going to be participating in, having new neighbors and everybody being new, you kind of all get to do everything together.
But I do know that people that lived in this section have decided they wanted to go down and do new. And with the amenities not there yet, you could get a pretty good deal on a new house. But now they're starting to get their grocery stores and their restaurants. And so, yeah, I mean, I know a family that they're very young. Their kids were just out of high school and they still work, but they just figure this was a great place and they can drive a golf cart to work and
why not? Love it. And so that's some of the things that I think about the South. The North, of course, the houses are all existing construction. You're not going to get any new construction. So depending on the home you buy, you may be looking at some rehab work that you have to do. But the upside is you probably won't be the one putting in the bird cage, the patio, the screen doors, the garage door opener, the skylights that we put in.
Yeah.
You'll have a lot of your infrastructure-ish work done. So really, then you just get to do the pretty stuff.
Yes.
Which is fun.
Right. Yeah. I mean, with our remodel, we added a golf cart garage and a big enclosed lanai on the back. But we got a good deal on our house, so we could, afford to do that.
And when you're in the older section, again, north of 44, you already know pretty much where your stores are. All of the infrastructure's done as far as the community goes. Again, the clubs are pretty well established, so it can be easy to find a club to join into.
And another thing is, in the northern section, there's no surprises what's going to go behind your house.
This is true.
And when you're in the new section and you have a nice field behind you with cows or horses or whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be that way in 5 years.
Yeah.
So there's been some people that have been very surprised and now they're looking at something behind their house that wasn't there when they bought. So
yeah, I've heard some
if
friends.
It's empty,
It might not be for long.
Yeah.
Well, and I had one of my friends had moved down south, and they said, "Oh, I just love it. There's all this open space," and I think, well, I hope it stays that way for you. Yeah. But that is a definite point, is that it could be. And the other thing that I hear a lot about is the landscaping. So up north, we have a lot of shade trees, mature landscaping, all of that. Down south, they have more palm trees, which is, it's very Florida, of course.
Right.
But a lot of people say it's not as pretty down there because it is less mature, and they are going with Florida landscape. So something we're very spoiled about up here.
To use less water.
To use less water.
Yeah. So it's more native plants.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's pretty down there, too.
It is pretty.
It's just,
it's just different.
Yeah,
they have different, like up here, they change our flowers quarterly, and it's very pretty.
Or after frost.
But yeah, or after frost.
Yeah.
But yeah, they change the flowers quarterly, so it's, but it's different landscaping. So I think it gives a different vibe. Yeah. But anyway, so I don't know. Can you think of any other pluses, minuses?
So.
I mean, I think that those are the reasons that part of the reason that I've never moved from this house into a 3-bedroom. Like I said, we've had 2-bedroom, but I love the way we redecorated it,
Yeah.
and I love where we live. We are super close to a strip mall with the grocery stores and a million restaurants, and I'm close to the tennis courts. So for me, my whole life is
Right.
within 5 to 10 minutes of golf cart.
And you do get spoiled when everything's 5
Yes.
10 minutes away, because then if it's, oh my goodness, it's 20 minutes away. So yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with driving your car, but like for us, we had 2 cars. When we moved down here, we bought 2 golf carts, got rid of a car because really we just need the car to go, off campus.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're pretty much in our golf carts everywhere. So
Yeah,
just
yeah,
keep, I think the biggest thing is you can get a house anywhere. You can make your house your own anywhere. Figure out what you want to do.
Another thing is to come down and rent. I mean, I
If
know a
you
lot of
can.
people, if you have the time, to rent,
For a month or 2.
yeah, for a month or 2 in one section and then
Yeah.
another section, and then decide which one you like. Because I mean, we came down and visited some friends a couple times, so we knew we really liked that other side because it was so quiet and quaint. And then then you can make your decision from there.
Yeah. And your neighbors are always going to change. It's nice to have good neighbors, but unfortunately, your neighbors can change. People have life situations and they change. So the biggest thing is to make yourself happy because you'll find friends. You'll be able to get together with friends. Everybody loves going to everybody else's house and all of that. So really, to me, I would say find where you want to do your activities and stick in that
And
area.
another thing that we discussed earlier, not on this, but we discussed that you should use a Villages realtor because,
Yes.
and then another realtor that is from
Like a
Remax or
Yeah.
whatever, because the Villages
Good
only shows Villages listed real estate. So if you want to look at some
And
other homes, and the
Remax
new-
can't show villages. So the
Right.
village, if you're going to buy a house that's listed by a village realtor, you're only going to see that house if you're working with a village realtor, and vice versa.
Right. Yeah.
So to see anything with a Remax, a village's realtor is not going to show you a Remax home. They don't permit it. So you really want to get 2 realtors when you're
and
looking
so,
to buy.
and you can look at, because there are a lot of people, when we first came down here, there was really no other realtor. I mean, except for the Villages.
Yeah.
And now that there's quite a few different companies, and you'll just get to see more homes. And if you want to do new, of course, you'll just go with the Villages realtor.
Yeah. Yep. They're the only ones selling new. So that's our landscaper. It's a beautiful day. You can probably hear them buzzing in the background. So anyway, sorry about that. But so otherwise, those are, if you have any questions or comments, please do put them down below. Obviously, we do read them. And to our new village friend who's coming down within the next 2 years, good luck and hope this video helps. And if you have more questions, feel free.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Have a great day.